I will be studying politics and public policy at Cardiff University. And why did I choose Cardiff? I chose Cardiff because I was doing my research, because one of the things Cynthia said is that you have to research about the schools. I find Cardiff to be the home of media and communication, and my undergraduate was in political science and communication. And as much as I work mostly in governance, I still wanted to be in an environment where I'm interacting a lot with communication experts. And I also knew somebody there, and I'm happy to take over her place when I land in Cardiff next week. And yeah, I thought it's good for me to give that background. And we'll be talking about the post-study career plan essay. So the first thing I'll say is believe in yourself. This application process requires you to just believe in yourself, because it's not easy. It's very competitive. And sometimes you'll ask yourself, am I deserving? Will I make it, like Patience was saying? So please believe in yourself. There are moments where you'll doubt yourself, but then keep talking to people who are also applying and people who've applied before. But bottom line, you must believe in yourself. And I shared this photo because I was looking forward to take this pic. I kept seeing people, Chevening Scholars, taking this photo, and I said, I have to start visualizing it and having it in my mind, because you have to live the process. It's a journey of faith. As you apply, as you wait for the feedback on whether you're going for the interview or it's a regret, it's just a journey of faith. So believe in yourself as you apply. Know that you're deserving, know that you can do it, and that we are the ones who've been waiting for. So the question on the post-study career plan is, Chevening is looking for individuals who have a clear post-study career plan. Please outline your immediate plans upon returning home and your longer-term career goals. You may wish to consider how this relates to what the UK government is doing in your country. And you have an option of minimum 100 words and maximum 500 words. So I think for me, what I realized is the biggest thing that Chevening wants to see is, how ambitious are you, and are you realistic? And you have to be very, very strategic. So yes, you can be ambitious, but is it achievable? Is it specific, and what timelines do you have? And the first thing I think that is so important is that you have to thoroughly do your research. You have to research. As much as we're giving you tips, you have to go to the website and read, understand what UK work in Kenya is. And one of the places that I went to, one of the sources that really helped me was UK in Kenya, especially the Twitter handle, because it has a lot of links so that you can read about what UK is doing in Kenya. And the other one is DFID in Kenya and the UK Africa Investment Summit that happened early this year. It really, really gives a lot of information on what the focus is currently. Yeah. And then the second one is, you have to understand a challenge in Kenya right now, a challenge in your country, and what are some of the key opportunities that you identify as contributing factors to the solution that you have identified. Allow me, I wanted to share what I wrote so that you have an idea. I know that we have different courses that we want to pursue, but then probably just reading what I had in my introduction paragraph will give you an idea as you create your essay. So, like I said, my work experience has been in governance, and I did run a project on devolution for 2 years. So for me, my application was about governance, women in the devolution process, and the opportunities that I see based on devolution. And so my first paragraph read, Kenya has numerous gaps in gender inclusion related matters, which include gender-based violence, limited access to financial capital, and unequal access to education by girls and women compared to men. Although devolution was intended to close these gaps by decentralizing services to bring them closer to citizens, there still exist barriers to access to government services in these areas. On one hand, ineffective public service delivery is owed to lack of technical capacity, mostly in the counties. And on the other hand, corruption has robbed Kenyans of basic services funded by their hard-earned money. In addition, Kenya suffers a culture of lawlessness where violators of the law go unpunished, hence taking away the dignity of citizens. First, I have to say, when you read about UK work in Kenya, you know that they really support any work that is targeted towards ending corruption in the country. They truly support devolution and gender-based violence against women. So having that background, and it's actually related to what I used to do previously, I knew that that was going to be a catch. So make sure that you're very strategic in your introduction paragraph. We say in communication that if I read the first two statements of your work and it's not interesting, I just flip the next one. So be very, very strategic in your first paragraph. And then the next tip would be break down your career plans into short, medium, and long-term plans. So be very specific on what you want to do. Soon as you get to your back to Kenya, because you have to come back. And yes, Jane, Patience, and Cynthia, I'll come back. I want to come back. So yeah, soon as you get back to Kenya, what will you do? What's your immediate plan upon return? And in my essay, I wrote, upon completing my master's in public policy in 2021, I will mostly spend my next 6 months building the capacity of members at Dada Power Initiative by sharing my key takeaways on best practices from the UK. So I run an initiative called Dada Power in Murang'a County. We work with teenage girls and young women to build their capacity in socioeconomic and political advancement. And so for me, it was very clear that when I come back, before I get a job, I want to first build the capacity of our organization amongst our members when it comes to the different programs that we run. And I wrote, focus will mostly be on designing social mechanisms for reporting and tackling gender-based violence and economic empowerment for women in rural areas. And like I say, you have to be very specific. For me, it's very clear. I want to work on empowerment opportunities for women in rural areas. So be very, very strategic and be very, very specific in your essay. And then the next one would be the medium-term plan. So what happens 6 months after you're done, after you're back to Kenya, or after 1 year? And I wrote in my essay, between October 2021 to August 2022, I will volunteer my time and resources as part of the strategy for my political party and as senatorial candidate in my home county as a strategic way of positioning myself and lobbying for a nominative post in representing youth or women. Should I not get a nominative post, I will lobby and apply for an opportunity to work with the Council of Governors as a policy analyst to contribute to policy design work by building the capacity of all the 47 counties and tracking progress of all policy-driven interventions and reviewing them to ensure accountability and value for taxpayers' money. This will go a long way in enhancing accountability in devolution, which is one of the areas that is supported by the UK government. So again, I was very strategic. I knew where I want to go and where I want to work. And one of them is the Council of Governors, and my course is in politics and public policy. So be very, very specific on where you want to be as your medium-term plan. I hope that helps. And then finally, on the long-term plan, again, in future, what do you want to be? Make sure that it's very clear and it's very, very realistic. And on my essay, I wrote, on the long-term plan, I have political ambitions, starting with Member of Parliament, Kiharu constituency in 2027, and to sit in the parliamentary committee in charge of education. This is because I am interested in education reforms as a gender equalizer, mostly on equitable access to schools by girls in the rural areas. So be very, very ambitious. Don't limit yourself, but also be very, very realistic. And because Chevening wants you to go gain capacity and experience and learn from your networks on best practices, they also want to see what will you do when you come back based on what you've achieved in your education and in your networks. How will you use the skills that you're going to come back and impact on your society and the whole country? So even the networks that you'll pursue after that, how will you use them? How strategic are you in using the skills that you gain? And then the fourth tip would be ensure your key issues in this essay are linked to those in the leadership and networking essays. And same, I think, to studying in the UK. All these issues have to be linked so that then they see how is your journey going to be and how has your journey been in the past. So the last two paragraphs in my essays read, pursuing a master's in politics and public policy will build my expertise in designing, implementing, evaluating, and learning from county, national, regional, and international policies that address access to government services by citizens, mostly from low-income households. Since being part of the Chevening community will give me a broader context of working policies that touch on access to services, I will borrow from best practices in other countries by consulting with fellow Chevening scholars and alumni and apply them to suit Kenya's context. As you can see, I've actually used what I wrote in my networking essay to build up on this essay. And then finally, of course, you end your essay with something that speaks to why you still need this scholarship. So I wrote, pursuing a master's in politics and public policy in the UK will open opportunities for me to implement global ideas in Kenya's local communities that will go a long way in eradicating poverty among most households. As a result, more women and girls will realize their full potential and become drivers of sustainable development. And if you read the DFID website and even the UK Africa Summit, you see the issue of sustainable development is quite emphasized. Yeah, so it's a key area that the UK government and the UK people, or those who support Chevening, are very, very keen on. So again, you have to be very, very strategic. Those are the tips I would give on the essays. The essay on post-study career plan. Again, remember to be very, very specific. Be ambitious. Don't dream small. Don't dim your light. Yeah. But also be very, very realistic. Is it achievable? And what will you do immediately after coming back? What's your medium-term plan and what's your long-term plan? So that's it. And I'd like to end with my favorite quote, which is, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. So don't dim your light. Yeah. Don't think that you're undeserving. You're very, very deserving. Believe in yourself, and all the best in your Chevening application. If you need help, feel free to reach out. Thank you.